Hi, here is Liprandi and today we're gonna play with Dick Tracy, made by Playmates Toys in 1990. But first, please subscribe to our channel, click on the blue button Liprandi. We are reviewing our huge collection of vintage toys. Dick Tracy started in 1931 as a comic strip created by Chester Gould, taking inspiration from the real federal agent Elliot Ness. Dick Tracy was a smart and tough cop who used forensic science and advanced gadgets to pursue criminals. Thanks to graphic situations and a gallery of crazy gangsters, the comic strip soon gained a lot of success. In the 1930s there were radio shows and movie series about Dick Tracy, and in the 1940s also new feature films. In the following decades in comic books, characters, situations, and the overall tone of Dick Tracy changed a lot, but they kept going. Director and movie star Warren Beatty had plans about a movie on Dick Tracy since 1975, but the project didn't become reality until 1990. In such year, Dick Tracy became a huge theatrical movie. Directed and played by Warren Beatty with incredible images and vivid colors, a soundtrack made by Danny Elfman, the same who scored Batman for Tim Burton, and an incredible cast, including Madonna, Dustin Hoffman, Al Pacino, James Caan, Kathy Bates, and others. The toy company who got the license to make action figures based on the movie was Playmates, the same one who was having an incredible success with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But the same could not be said for the movie itself, which wasn't doing very well at the box office, so the toy line was cut off pretty soon. Playmates Toys made a couple of dolls, some role-playing gadgets, and a line of 14 action figures with 2 vehicles. Police agents Dick Tracy and Sam Ketchum were the only 2 good guys in the toy line. Playmates Toys had the not-so-good idea of keeping the same structure and style of the best-selling Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles also on these characters, even though they were based on a live-action movie. Tracy's face is a rough attempt in getting a likeness of actor Warren Beatty. The figure has the same points of articulations that we could see on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the same years, so we can rotate his head, move the arms forwards and backwards, rotate his wrists, and we've got ball joints for the legs. Even though the ball joints at the hips gave the illusion of having a wide range of movement, this kind of joint did not allow kids to put the figures in a sitting pose properly. On Tracy's wrist we can see the iconic radio wristwatch, which was one of the amazing futuristic gadgets from the comic books. Pretty much all of the figures came with 3 accessories. Dick Tracy had a wooden billy club, a Colt 45 gun with a black painted handle, and a black rubber holster made in a flexible material with a nice leather texture that actually works very well with the gun. The holster is supposed to be put around the figure's chest, keeping the gun under his armpit. Even though it's in a very flexible rubber, we are afraid that putting it on and off the figure could break the rubber peg, so for this particular shot we are showing you the same figure we have been playing with when we were kids. The only other good guy made by Playmates Toys was the not-so-brilliant police agent Sam Ketchum. The simple and vivid colors that we can see on these figures, orange for Sam Ketchum and yellow for Dick Tracy, were actually used in the movie. They were part of its unique look. While silly and roughly sculpted details, such as bullet holes in his hat and this camera and pens in his pocket, were part of those wheel details that were perfect for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but did not fit well with this subject. Sam Ketchum has the same articulations as Dick Tracy and as any other character in this toy line, so we can rotate the head, move the arms forwards and backwards, rotate the wrists, and we've got ball joints for the hips, but his body is completely different from Dick Tracy's. Actually, all the figures in this line had totally different bodies, even when they looked similar. Sam Ketchum also came with 3 accessories. We have 1 wooden billy club, which is identical to Dick Tracy's. We have a .38 revolver, again with a black painted handle. and a nice rubber holster with a beautiful leather texture, which will work with the 38 revolver. Sam's holster is supposed to go around the figure's waist, and since we don't want to risk breaking the new one, again we are showing you the same one we have been playing with over 30 years ago. And now we can move on to Dick Tracy's Police Squad car, powerful police pursuit vehicle. The only other vehicle made in the line was the getaway car for the bad guys, which was based on the same sculpt but with some different features and of course a different paint job since it was totally black. This is the original box. The same style of graphics was used on the cards for the action figures. All the packages in this toy line featured a message coming from Tracy's radio wristwatch, while the picture in the lower corner of the box shows us the features of the toy: loud wailing police siren, working doors for easy copper access and gunfight shielding. Ooh, easy copper access is not totally true, and actually what you see in this picture, Sam Ketchum inside the car, is not possible with this toy. On the back of the box we can see all the features more in detail. We have a description of the Tracy's Police Squad car, we have a nice picture of the toy, and it anticipates us that the toy will actually look great. There is a comic strip down here and we can read some of the main characteristics. Loud wailing police siren respected by honest citizens, feared by lawbreakers. Activates as car moves, but believe me, there are no electronics in this toy. And here's the car, and boy, it looks beautiful. It's one of those classic cars from the 1930s, of course. It's something that you don't see really often in action figures lines, and it's got chrome details, translucent lights, and paint applications for the interiors, for the outside of the car, some stickers for the police emblems on the doors. On the sides we have foot pegs for the figure's feet, some more painted details in the back, a chrome bumper and a sticker for the license plate. As suggested on the box, we can use the opening doors as shields to mimic the shootouts from the movie. On the driver's side we have a piercing spotlight, which of course doesn't really light up, but we can move it up and down, and of course this door also opens. The interiors are also nicely detailed, with panels for the doors and some stickers for dashboard and pedals. We also have nice grey front seats and back seats. But it is impossible to have access to the back seats because the roof cannot be removed and the back doors do not open. And anyway, there wouldn't be room enough for an action figure here in the back. And things aren't much better for the front seats either, since the only way to put the figures in a sitting position is by spreading their legs. And when you spread them, they get so wide that the feet hinder the movement of the doors, and you cannot close them both. So the only way of placing a figure inside the car is by sitting him in the center, which doesn't look great, and of course you won't be able to close the doors. That's sad. Apart from this major failure, the car has a nice action feature which reminds some of the crazy action features that were designed by Playmates toys for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The siren. There are no electronics and it doesn't require any batteries. If you push and pull the car forwards and backwards, it rolls very smoothly, but if you push down on the back side of the car, you will activate a mechanical siren. That's it. It's unusual, but it sounds like those old sirens from the 1930s. And that's it. Dick Tracy from Playmates Toys wasn't a great toy line by any means. They had great materials, but they were also very poorly designed. Since no one cared for this toy line, of the 14 characters that were made, 13 are still very affordable today, while the 14th, the blank, is extremely rare and expensive. The vehicles are more rare and expensive than the figures, especially outside of the United States. But they are also a big disappointment, since the inability to put figures inside makes them almost useless. This is a toy line we've played with many years ago. We have most of the characters and we have been looking for the cards for a long time. Therefore we are really happy to have found this one, of course, but still we are a little bit disappointed. Now, as always, if you liked this video, please click on the like button down here and subscribe to our channel by clicking on the blue button Liplandi. Ciao!